Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Hasbro Transformers Beast Wars 10th Anniversary Series 1 Cheetor. Though the box is considerably disheveled, Cheetor does come with a piece to build your very own Transmutate. In this case, includes part 2 of 6. Some nice artwork down below. Again, Spot apologizes that the box is slightly disheveled, and also I've already taken the liberty of opening this up when I initially bought it for $16.99. On the back, well, actually it also comes with a DVD as well. On the back, there is a picture of Cheetor in both Cheetah mode and robot mode, maximal mode. And Cheetor does come with the torso. Collect all 6 Series 1 Beast War 10th Anniversary figures to build Transmutate. Sadly, I didn't actually pick up all 6, so I won't be able to build Transmutate. But that's what he would look like. That's basically what he would look like right there. Your read-up says the youngest of the Maximal crew, Cheetor is fiery, impulsive, and just plain dumb sometimes. Youthful overconfidence combined with the incredible speed can quickly get him into trouble, from which he lacks the skill to escape. Still, beneath his reckless desire to impress his fellow Maximals is the heart of an honorable and capable warrior and great potential as a future leader. For your consideration as well, there is the stat breakdown. Speed, of course. No-brainer. Speed is at 10. Endurance is at 8. Skill, 7. Fire Blast, 7. There's a whole bunch of them going on right there. Moving the camera back and flipping it upside down, the other figures available, or at the time that this would have been released, the other figures available is Rhinox and Waspinator. Waspinator. Yes, Waspinator. And then there's a picture on the side of Transmutate, just for good measure. Spot really doesn't actually have to take much of a break to get this opened up, as again, Cheetor is pretty disheveled. But what we are going to do is I'm going to take a break, get him out of packaging, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Transformers Beast Wars 10th Anniversary Cheetor. There's more heading away, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We will briefly touch base on the one piece that comes with Cheetor for Transmutate, and that is the upper torso of Transmutate. Not really a whole heck of a lot going on because, again, I don't have all the other pieces to put him together. But for what it is, it's not a bad-looking Transmutate. If maybe at some point down the road, Spot will get all the pieces, I'll put him together. We'll do a separate video. How's that sound? So just put that to the side. And let's have a look at Cheetor. Now, obviously, to wear rose-colored glasses, I would say that these are really fun toys. And back in the day, I really enjoyed collecting them. But yeah, truth be told, Cheetor is a bit of a bulky-looking cheetah. And very similar to the other Beast Wars toys, you can see a lot of robot components. Not so much kibble, but robot components sticking completely in plain sight of you know, where these will eventually become robot pieces. I mean, his legs, they're not making any efforts to hide the fact that, yeah, he's got robotic legs sticking on the outside of his regular cheetah legs. I suppose aside really from that, and you can see his battle face in there, I suppose from the rest of that, I mean, he is still pretty finished. Looking on the underside of the cheetah, it is a fully complete piece. Now granted, this section right here pops off, and you know, he's got like a little squirt cannon. But, you know, even when that's off and you're kind of making it look a little more of a thinner looking cheetah, it still does a pretty good job, well-rounded overall, of making it look at least like a cheetah. It doesn't look like it's a cheetah and then the rest is just, you know, robot mode. In this mode, it actually has absolutely no articulation in the front. His head really doesn't do any sort of movement or anything like that. In the back, though, his legs do move up in and out, kind of front and back, and he does also have a bend in the knee. Granted, a lot of that relies on his transformation, which I'll show you in a second, but still it adds up to at least a little bit of articulation when it comes to Cheetor in cheetah mode. To get this guy transformed into Cheetor, or at least the robot mode cheetah, You're going to take this piece right off, which we've already done. And also, you're going to take this top section here off as well. This will serve as a secondary weapon for Cheetor in robot mode. From there, you're going to extend out his legs. And you can reach from the underside, providing you have the proper nails to do this, which sadly I don't always have to have. You get in there, and you got to flip out these heels. There's one. Let's see if I can get the other one in there. Again, nails, always very helpful. Get my fingernail actually in there. When you eventually get both heels out, take the torso section here and spin it around. This will be the front, actually I should say, this will be the front section of the cheetah Cheetor, once you get all this stuff moved around. Next, reach around to the front section with his arms, cheetah arms, and just untab them. And then this section right here, you can detach, bring his arms out, and unhook them from his torso piece. This section right here too, once you move the arms out, this section will fold down and kind of give him a lower torso piece. Once the arms are really straightened out, we'll make sure that these are completely moved out like so. These can be straightened around. The last thing you want to do is take the cheetah head, pull it out, rotate it, and then not really so much even peg it back in, but sit it back up on this little ledge platform here. And just straighten out the head, straighten out the legs, and you've got yourself Cheetor. Of course, sure enough, one thing Spot forgot to mention, take the legs, rotate them around so that his robot legs are in the front, cheetah legs, cheetah feet are in the back. And just like that, you've got yourself Cheetor. A really decent looking Transformer. Now again, granted, he's not perfect, but I gotta say, he still looks pretty good and somewhat accurate to the show. In fact, there is a close-up look on his face. Really, again, for how old this toy is, it's a pretty good representation of how he looked in the show. Right down to the green eyes, the cheetah head in the front, yes, which of course could be maybe my one glaring complaint with this toy, is that the cheetah head sticks so far in the front that a lot of times, you know, positioning it just right and making sure it's not blocking the view of the robot mode head. But again, that's really about the only gripe I could make about the toy. Along with the water gun, we can put that into his one hand. I'm not going to actually fill it with water, just because I don't like filling guns with water. Then you never get the water out. You can also take the top section of the cheetah, which here's the tail here. Take this, flip it around, and you have a little peg point under the underside there that you can also peg into his hand. The downside, though, getting in his hand, sometimes you got to just make sure that the tail there is a little out of the way. But there you have Cheetor completely armed for battle against any of the Predacons that may want to mess with this Maximal. Also a 10th anniversary Cheetor release. He still does have the battle mask, which you just take the face here and you just move it down and you get something that looks like this. You would never ever display probably Cheetor with this. I think at one point they had considered using the alternate faces in the show, but then ultimately they just ended up using the regular robot modes. I mean, this is more inclined to how I'm going to display Cheetor, not really so much making use of the battle face. But a lot of the toys, both I believe both Maximals and Predacons actually had the alternate face piece, the alternate mask section right there. Cheetor certainly shines when it comes to his articulation, as the fact that he does have a rotation in his head, and really along those lines of using the shield, the battle faceplate, yeah, his head does really technically move up and down as well. He does have a swivel and quite a bit of movement actually via the ball joint that's in his shoulders. He has also a hinge in his elbow, so you can get a lot of movement there. Not really any sort of articulation from the cheetah head, as this really is just more articulate, more on the transformation than anything else. He does have a slight waist swivel, and then the legs go forward and back via the ball joint here. Also a nice double bend in the knee. I guess also too, Cheetor is kind of stocky, as perhaps another, not so much issue that I have, but he is a very obviously stocky looking character. He's got a lot of junk, really, with the cheetah head at the top there, the legs at the back there. It really makes him look chunky. He could have been a little bit longer, but I think proportionately, if I could overlook like the head, the rest of the body actually fits pretty in scale with itself, though again, the legs could be maybe just a little bit longer. Of the original Beast Wars Transformers toys, I think Cheetor still is one of my personal favorites. The cheetah is probably one of the more complete looking animal modes, and I think his robot mode is one of the more accurate to the shows. Unlike, say, the likes of perhaps a Rhinox, where toy-wise he didn't really look a lot like he did in the cartoon, Cheetor at least still looks like he did in the cartoon. So, he's a pretty show-accurate piece, despite the fact that, again, he is an older toy. Still love this piece, though, and even though I'm never going to fill this with water, I'm glad he comes with some extra weapons as well. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Hasbro Transformers Beast Wars 10th Anniversary Cheetor. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Transformer reviews heading your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.